Good people of the internet. All right, so I have kind of been dragging my feet on this garden bed here. I planted the roses, I guess we're kind of coming up on a month, and when I planted those, I put a cover crop down, the 12 seed, um, 12 seed cover crop blend. This happens to be from Build a Soil. But I put that down to kind of help get some roots in there and to be able to chop it to feed the soil. And that's basically ready to chop. Some of that stuff has gotten pretty big. But yeah, so this bed, I don't totally know what I want to do with it. I just put 3 more bags of raised bed soil in it. Basically, I mix that up with a little bit of perlite, put some organic amendments in it, some Montana Grow, and then some glacial rock dust. But put the seed down in here, and I want to get it watered, and then I am going to cover it and give it a good water to soak up this cardboard. But I'm going to use cardboard as mulch. I've kind of tried to do this in the past, but this time I ran it through the shredder. I discovered my paper shredder will process cardboard reasonably well. So this was 3 Home Depot boxes that I chopped up. But over the next couple weeks, I don't have a lot of time to stay on top of the watering, and I really want this cover crop to take root. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to plant in here. Probably going to be some kind of flower. But I'd like to kind of get the organic amendment started to break down and get this cover crop going to get some roots in here, because I'd like the moisture to kind of be able to stay in here, because like I put this soil out last night and it was pretty moist when it came out of the bag, and I mean it's 10 o'clock in the morning now and it's already, like, the top layer is already really dried out. So what I'm going to do is I'll spray this down and just get it a little bit damp to kind of make sure that the seeds and everything all have some moisture on them. Then we'll cover it and re-water it. But just kind of a timestamp to see how this turns out, because this, for the outside application, this is the first time at scale that I've really used the shredded cardboard. In the past, I had chopped it up into kind of little, I don't know, not little shapes, but just chopped it up as small as I could with scissors, and that was a lot of work and kind of not worth the effort. But for coverage, the cardboard works great, but I really want this cover crop to be able to grow up through it, and I anticipate this will work fine. I didn't want to spend money on straw when I was at the garden store last, and figured this will work just as well. So we're going to just miss this. And I'll give it a good soaking once we get the cardboard down. But I'm sure, like most, you wind up getting so much cardboard that you kind of try to find other ways to use it. And I know I've used it in the past to lay down on the ground to help. Like, I guess all these 2 beds, I had originally laid down cardboard in this area to kind of kill off the grass. But I don't need to use the cardboard like that all the time. And if this works, I think I'm probably going to invest in a shredder that is a little more suited for the cardboard, because the shredder that I have, I'm definitely maxing it out, but I'm also, I'm sure I'm shortening the life on it, because it only goes for a few minutes and then it needs a break. But my hope is that, like, obviously when it's dry like this, the wind will pick up and blow it right away. And again, that's with the soil, I want to protect that from the wind blowing, because this top part of my property I'm on, you get a huge breeze that kind of comes right through here, and as the soil dries out, you really can see see the tendency to blow away. Also, I had done garlic in this bed the last 2 years. Or I guess last year. I planted the year before and then it harvested last summer. And what I had noticed was that kind of the soil really ran off on that end. I mean, I'm kind of on a slope here, so I did add a bunch more soil. Like I said, 3 bags of organic soil, whatever that means, right? But the drainage in that kind of seemed lacking, so that's why I added the perlite, and I also had the perlite on hand. I don't think I would have ultimately gone out and bought more. We'll see how far. I'm a little bit nervous that I'm going to wind up with this cardboard all over my yard, so we shall see. Just need to get it to kind of contact the ground and kind of stick to itself so it doesn't turn into just endless yard waste. But I will do, probably in the next week I'll get, or I guess it'll be 2 weeks, I'll get a full garden update. Because I now have five of the 3x3 beds, which I'm not sure you can totally see. The 5th one at the end I haven't put soil in yet. But we'll get those planted out, and strawberries appear to be doing really well. All the potted stuff I have seems to kind of be coming along. The tiger lilies have broken ground. The dahlias, I have dahlias in this first bin here, and I can see them starting to pop through. Those were, I don't remember the exact name, but they're white dahlias, and they're beautiful last year. I didn't totally know what I was doing, so, and they were underwatered, but they definitely showed me I had something to learn last year on how to get them going. They kind of wound up bunched up, and just with watering issues and stuff, didn't really reach their full potential. But I'm hopeful with all that soil that they have, and you can see that what's popping up there is cover crop, because I had put cover crop on those at the end of last season. All right, I've got a decent amount of cardboard in here. But the sun bakes down on this garden bed basically from sunrise to sunset, so it is 100% full sun. A little bit more down here. And the top layer definitely gets all baked up, and trying to be conscious of water usage, but also making it as easy as possible. I want to protect the soil and the investment in it, both time and money. I'd like it to be able to kind of to do its thing. You put the work in on the front end, and then just maintenance here and there. So All right. We'll get this watered in, and then it's a little thin in there. We'll hope for the best. One of the things I always have to remind myself with kind of gardening and just the lawn stuff and plants in general is that they want to grow. And you gotta set them up for success, and just let them do their thing. Let's get this watered in. I'll give this a pretty good soaking. It's going to be, like I said, next week I'm just not going to have time to really pay attention to the garden. So I'm trying to kind of set myself up for what I'm expecting will be a week of mostly warm weather and sun. I know as of now it's not looking like there's any rain in the forecast. Get these corners covered. But if anybody is using any kind of different types of mulching solutions, I'd love to hear about it. But I'll be eager to get, once this cover crop kind of comes through and the roots take hold, it's a great indicator, a great indicator of kind of what the moisture's like in the soil. And then also those roots will help hold everything together. So the more that the cover crop pops out, the more that it'll weave through this and keep all the cardboard in place. And it appears that this is taking on moisture pretty well. In the past when I've done this and had the larger chunks, it took a little more to get the cardboard wet. But you can see the shreds of cardboard and the little gaps in between them, they're taking on water right away. I've also, when I discovered this, the cardboard that my shredder would take it, I just started a worm bin, and I'll put a video up on that. Nothing special, just kind of a timestamp of my second attempt at a worm bin. But I soaked these cardboard shreds in some recharge, kind of in water, and I'll be using these shreds like this in my worm bin. So that's another place. In the past, when I'd done it before, I used a lot of cocoa, and it's just money I don't want to spend for the worm bin. So, get a little more water in here. Also, the dry amendments that are in here, the Build a Soil Craft Blend, tends to be on the stinky side as it starts to break down. I have it buried pretty good. So we'll see if any of the critters, I tried to get my yard sealed off as best I can with gaps under the fence and whatnot. But I know the bunnies tend to be persistent, and the squirrels love to hop in the garden beds and dig their little holes. So we'll see if the cardboard, I'll come out tomorrow morning and probably find that there's somebody's burrowed into it or whatever. All right, I think that's a pretty good soaking. The cardboard all looks like it's taken on water. I don't see any dry spots. All right. Use a little bit of pressure here for the last little bit. Help push down. Let's take a quick look at it. Go this way, this is the shadow. Yeah, so it's taking on water pretty good, but I shall keep everyone posted as to how this goes. But attempt number one with shredded cardboard as mulch is underway. So hope all's well. Everybody take care. Peace.